Does that cup of joe in the morning make your day? Are you thinking that it might be time to up your coffee game, but you don't know where to start? Well, we love coffee too, and we decided it was time to test out 5 different coffee machines to see which one provided the best experience and taste overall. Come along with us as we share our raw and honest opinions of these different coffee makers and which one might be the best one for you. We're not going to sleep tonight. Hi, I'm Danny.
And I'm Siobhan.
And last week, me and Siobhan got super duper into coffee.
We're just normal people who like coffee, and we were wondering, is it time to upgrade our machine? Is it really that much better to get a more advanced machine? Or are we good sticking with the cheaper one?
It was a good question because I bought all of them. Wow, it's going. What is it? The Techna something? Technivorm.
The Technivorm Mocha Master, the
Yeah.
Ferrari of coffee machines, as
basically.
they say.
Inside this little tower here, there is an expensive copper heating apparatus, which is supposed to get the coffee anywhere between 195 and 205 degrees. I'm a fan of like handmade things, and this is handmade in the Netherlands. That adds a lot to the appeal for me personally.
Well, as you know from our last video, I really don't like plastic, and this one definitely does strike you as being, it's a very well-made machine. You can tell that right away.
Here's like the top part of the water. If you put it on, it fits fine, but it's kind of jiggly.
It's not a big deal.
It definitely
'cause
doesn't
have to be airtight or anything, but it kind of...
Yeah, like you spend a lot of money, you don't want a little jiggle.
Yeah.
We looked at the temperature consistency on the shower head. So right at the shower head, I measured it, averaged out pretty much spot on at 200 degrees. You'll notice that it's got a heating plate underneath it that'll keep the coffee hot for at least an hour before it auto shuts off. It's a pretty simple design. There's a power button, and then there's a half carafe, full carafe button.
One of the downsides to this is that the carafe itself is not dishwasher safe, so you will have to wash it by hand. But it has a 5-year warranty if you buy it new, a 1-year warranty if you buy it refurbished. So if you break it or something, at least you can get it replaced.
So your coffee goes in here.
To keep our test consistent, we use the SCA's recommended ratio of water to coffee, which is 18:1.
There we go.
Yeah.
There's the little shower head doing its thing.
It should do this initial bit and then stop for about 30 seconds.
Oh.
And that will cause the coffee to bloom. See how it's kind of puffing up
Yeah, it is
a
kind
bit?
of puffing up.
It's so pretty and it's so quiet.
Yeah, and you can touch it. It's not super hot,
No.
which is nice.
It brought out the flavor, I think, very well.
Yeah. It's a good strong cup.
It's very well-rounded.
Yeah. Yeah, will this change your life?
Maybe, probably not.
Probably not.
I wouldn't say it's going to be a big game changer. It might brighten up your kitchen a bit.
Yeah, it's not going to make your ground beans from the store taste any better whatsoever. Those are still going to taste stale.
Yeah.
But if you bother to grind your beans from fresh stuff, this won't get in your way.
Mm-hmm. Certainly.
I was giddy when I first pulled this out of the box. I was really excited. Just purely because it looks cool. So this big boy is the Ninja CE200. It's an Amazon bestseller because it just pretty much has every feature known to man in a modern day coffee maker. We were pretty impressed with this when we pulled this out of the box.
Well, I think it's very well designed. It's kind of designed for convenience, but there's a lot of really nice features. This water canister container detaches, and there's really nice grip handles here on the side. So that's really nice because you can clean it. One of my favorite feature, probably I love this, is this little bean spoon or ground spoon on the side. You always need a scoop, and it can so easily get lost in a drawer or somewhere, so it's so nice that it just sticks right there.
You love that.
Flush with the side. I really love that. Yeah, it's just such a smart use of space.
Yeah. The shower head here, you can see that it's a big giant circle, and it really evenly immerses the coffee. So this one I actually went and measured the shower head. I was getting about 195 average on the temperature, which falls within the 195 to 205 ideal.
It's in the low end.
Yeah, low end, but also we're at 4,000 feet here, so you're gonna see that. The other thing is this coffee filter here is super nice because you do not require a filter on it.
I love that because it's a very sustainable option. That's actually a huge selling point for me, I'd say. And it works really well. We didn't get any grounds in our brews.
Yeah, somebody who wants to not have to think at 5 a.m. in the morning when you're making your coffee before work, this is the way to go. It's got an automated timer on it so you can brew your coffee. Of all the coffee makers we've tested, this one definitely seems to be the most user-friendly.
Definitely, I would say so.
Like,
one of the cons of this machine is that it's very slow to brew.
pretty good strong cup.
Looks very strong, nice and rich. This is how I normally drink it in real life, so I just want to make sure that it's pretty close to reality as far as the flavor goes.
I'll have mine black.
That's actually really good.
Yeah, it's a little bit bitter on the back end for me, but it's like, I don't think that's any fault of the coffee maker though. I think that might just be me. I like it.
Yeah, it's good. It might not be as well-rounded of a flavor as the other some of the other coffee makers, but overall, it's a very good cup, I'd say.
All right, here we have the wonderful Redline pour-over style automated coffee maker. This looks a lot like the
Mocha Master.
Yeah.
But it's like aluminum or something.
Basically, the reason that we wanted to check out this coffee maker was because it was a cheap version of the Mocha Master. It looks like it has a really good control over temperature. Inside the tower here, there's a temperature control device that shoots water up and over the coffee.
And there's one button on it. That's both for the power and for the pre-infusion mode. It's going to drip the coffee in slowly and then take a short break, 30 seconds or so that the coffee can bloom.
So one feature on this that you won't find on other coffee makers is it's this little parking brake lever. If you forget to leave it closed and you start brewing, there's nothing that's going to stop the coffee maker from just filling up and overflowing.
Hold on, it's not going. Look at that. It's on.
Open it.
Okay, this one had an auto stoppage feature and we actually had it on.
And the Mocha Master, for example, the difference on that one is it has a little automated switch that when you pull out the carafe, it automatically seals the top coffee part.
In fact, most of them have that. Even the really cheap machines have that.
Yeah.
So it's kind of confusing why they weren't able to figure out how to make that work on this.
Yeah. It looked like it was pretty consistently between like 195 and 200 in the shower head.
So it's ideally between 195 and 205.
Yeah. One thing people were mentioning in the reviews is that the shower head here, sometimes the water only comes out of the back side of it and not all the way to the front, so it doesn't necessarily saturate all your coffee. So here's our ounce of beans for 1:18 ratio with 18 ounces of water. See, here it is. It's coming out of the rear end.
Yeah.
So let's see if it actually makes its way all the way to the front.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, it is kind of staying in the rear.
Because the water is still going to go down that cone and into the front.
Right. Okay.
But it just
Whoop,
might
we had
not...
the parking brake on.
No! Oh!
That's all right. That was our pre-infusion. We've literally forgotten twice.
Even after we
Even
said...
if we said it.
You know?
A little bit louder than the Mocha Master.
It did seem pretty...
It's done. Oh, it let us know it's
Ooh.
done. I like this more than the Ninja. A little bit. It's not amazing, but it's pretty good. This one tastes
That
pretty
tastes
smooth.
good. It's very smooth.
Yeah.
Well-rounded.
When we did our taste test, this one actually scored the lowest.
For both of us. Ooh. Ooh. That's
No?
bad.
Really?
That's really bad.
Yeah, we literally thought this was the worst tasting coffee.
It was very bitter.
Yeah, but we're brewing it again this time. It doesn't taste. It tastes fine. It could mean that it's inconsistent. I think you'd be just fine with this coffee maker.
It's fine. With the half and half, you can't taste any bitterness, though. It's very
Yeah,
smooth
with
for
the
what
half and
that's
half,
worth.
you're fine. You
Yeah.
could have the worst coffee in the world and just drown it in half and half.
Basically.
Well, there you go. That's the Redline. It is indeed a cheaper alternative to the top-of-the-line coffee makers. If you really can't stretch for those, totally understandable. This thing seems to work just fine. We have a lot to say about this. This is the Mr. Coffee. This is one of the cheapest coffee makers you can get. It's kind of a shocking one, though, because this one actually, in our blind taste test, actually ended up tasting the best.
Ooh. That is really good. That's really super smooth. There's no bitterness or acidity. That's great.
We were very
For
embarrassed.
both of us, we were like,
But
That's
that
shocking.
doesn't mean it's a good coffee maker necessarily. This one button up here turns on the coffee maker and shuts on the burner, but the burner has no auto shut off. So you could literally forget this and go to work.
and it could burn your coffee if you leave it sitting for too long.
Oh yeah. One of the things to note inside before we brew, It has this one little swivel arm, literally just seeps through one section, and it goes to none of the other sections. It actually just left like a bunch of the coffee dry.
I'd say half of it was completely dry.
Yeah, and it blows my mind that it still tasted amazing.
Yeah.
Very nice and smooth.
Is it?
Yeah,
Are you sure?
it is.
You sure about that?
so-
I really can't figure out what it is that made it taste good. I really think it's a fluke.
Temperature, I measured it at the water dispenser, was very inconsistent. It was all over the place.
Quite a big drop, but look at how watery that is.
So you could drink that coffee. Stop and grab. This is definitely the most polarizing coffee maker that we got. Like the only 1-star reviews were like, this thing will probably catch on fire.
Yeah.
But everyone else is like, this is great. It tastes wonderful, which is kind of what we experienced. It tastes really good. It's actually really good coffee, and it blows my mind. This shouldn't be good coffee.
I know. How does that happen?
Everything about it points to bad.
Yeah, in theory, it should not work at all.
But it's so good. Even though it's watery, I kind of love it. But we're not coffee aficionados.
Right. And you did say that you kind of prefer your coffee watery anyway?
Yeah, I do prefer a weaker cup of coffee. I don't like to be overwhelmed with a bunch of flavors. I just want a nice, smooth, bold brew. And this is kind of that, unfortunately, even though I don't know why. However, the con with this is if you did want a very strong cup of coffee, it will be impossible to do that with this because it pours through the same section of coffee the whole time.
Yeah, that's true. So even if you put more coffee in there, I don't think it's going to make it much of a difference.
Nope, you're stuck with watery coffee the whole time.
If you just need an average cup, if you're just starting out and you need a coffee maker, this would be a great one, I'd say.
This one is a crowd favorite. This is the Bona Vita coffee maker. It's basically simulating a pour over coffee style, but it does it through this little shower head built under here that evenly distributes the coffee. One of the great things about this coffee maker you won't see on all coffee makers, it has a metal vacuum carafe on it, which basically is just a nice thermos that keeps the coffee hot pretty much all day. And it doesn't require a burner plate underneath, so therefore you're not going to be burning your coffee to keep it hot.
I really didn't like this feature. So when you finish brewing your cup of coffee, you have to take it out like this, remove the grounds, and then put on the twist cap. You got to find somewhere to store this cap. And I feel like for me, that would get easily lost in my kitchen.
This would like slide underneath and stay there.
Yeah, that would have been nice. Very simple. In our taste test, this came out very consistent and very good. It was both very highly rated.
It was almost first place, if not first place for both of us. There's no bitterness in this one.
Okay.
For someone who likes a super flavorful coffee, I'd say this is a good cup.
All right.
One thing I don't really like about it, I'm not really a huge fan of the style of it. It's just very plain. And it doesn't look as cool as like some of the top end ones, like the Mocha Master. Some people actually think it tastes better, is what I've seen. And when I measured the temperatures at the shower heads, I was getting a pretty consistent 199. We're at 4,000 feet elevation here, so that's actually pretty good for high elevation.
Blows.
Yeah, there she blows. Was that it?
I think that was it. Just watch this. Okay.
Yeah, just watch.
So you have to take this off, set it on the counter where it could leak, twist this guy on. I do like how well this is made. It's got a very nice pour.
Yeah, the pour is very consistent. You could pour it from a long distance if you needed to. If you're reaching over people on the table, some carafes do not pour that nicely.
Yeah. I'm gonna add a little half and half to mine.
That is mind-blowingly good.
Is it?
That is really good.
Oh my god. Oh wow. That is really good.
Holy crap.
That might have been the best one.
That is by far the best coffee I've had all day. That's almost like an emotional experience how good that was. After all the bad cups of coffee we've had testing these things, this is like finally like the best cup I've had.
It's a glimmer of hope. That's good. Oh, that's so good. And I would say we've brewed a couple cups of this already, and it's very consistent. Every time we get a great cup with this one. This one might be my favorite. I have a French press at home, and I would say this is a machine worth upgrading to. This is definitely going to change your daily coffee experience.
It's very reasonably priced.
But it gives a great high-end product, really.
Yeah. Well, so 5 coffee machines down.
My number one would definitely be the Bonavita. It just had such a consistently good cup of coffee. But the Mr. Coffee really did surprise me.
Yeah.
I was not expecting that.
But for me too, the Bonavita seemed like the best. I really wanted to like the Mocha Master. I wanted to fall in love with that and have it because it's beautiful. The coffee coming through it just was like, it was good, but it
wasn't life-changing.
Yeah, it wasn't life-changing. It didn't have to be, but for that price, you really do want something that's going to be kind of significant and like really change your morning routine. I actually use a pour-over style coffee. I've been doing it every morning. You've had it. It gets cold super quick. And that Bonavita's metal vacuum carafe is like a game changer, along with the more consistent control.
Yeah.
Because there's one thing I don't do is I don't control my coffee very well. I just kind of do it by feel every morning. The Bonavita was that good, I might actually just go ahead and replace my pour-over style with that. We hope you thought this was helpful. This was a lot of fun for us to make. We just really enjoy making these. That's at the end of the day, this is like a nice thing for us to capture a cool experience between us. And if you liked our coffee mugs that we're drinking, we have a little shop below. You can get one. It's got me with all my speakers and my cat Clovis on it.
I love this mug. I drink out of it almost every day.
But yeah, let us know in the comments what you think. We really enjoy looking at them. Give us a thumbs up or whatever you deem worthy for this video. So yeah, thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next video. Bye.
Bye.